What is up, guys, and welcome in. Right here I am giving you a quick unboxing of the Nike Tiempo Legend 5 or V. We're going to take a look at these boots. I know they've been on the market a while, so instead of just reviewing this boot, I'm going to compare them to other boots on the market and other previously released boots, so you get a good idea of what they have to offer and what makes them different from other boots that are currently released. So you get two boots in the bag. You get yourself a new boot bag with the Tiempo slogan on it, as you would expect. And here you have the boots themselves. Okay, so let's move this box aside. Let's get cracking on the boots. So first thing you'll notice is obviously that stitching on the front. It has the same kind of look as the Ronaldinho Duo boots that were released back in 2007-2008 season. You know, you got that layer of stitching that runs across the front, and you can see what Nike were trying to do here. They were trying to bring back that old iconic look. So you do get that quilted vamp on the front. You got this unique looking tongue. It's got this shimmering effect, metallic effect. Gives it a very unique look, especially with those yellow tongues or yellow laces right across it. Nike swoosh on the side. Flip it around. Right here they advertise the fact that there's Hyper Shield in the upper, which is used to give it more of a waterproof effect, so it doesn't soak up as much water. You've got some cool imagery on the inside. Quick hit with the logo. And insole, as you can see, I've been testing these out, so the Tiempo has come off the insole, something worth noting. And then inside the boots itself, it has this like honeycomb paneling, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. Sole plate is your stud configuration, pretty slick, really useful on both AG and FG surfaces. There's the stud profile. Okay, so there you have it. This is the Tiempo V or Tiempo V boots. Alright guys, the first boot I want to compare them to, obviously one of the most important, is the adiPure 11 Pro. This is a samba colorway, a lot brighter. It is also a heritage release, so it is in direct competition with the Tiempo V. Primary differences, obviously the stitching is pretty similar across the forefoot, but this layer of stitching that runs across the Tiempo V is going to give it a different fit naturally, because it kind of brings the boot in closer here compared to a wider fit. If you look at the underside of the boot, you'll see that Adidas go for a new comfort frame, so it gives a completely different level of performance. Note, price-wise, the Tiempo V is now up at $200. Yes, an incredible $200. It ranks with the rest of the Nike release on the market, whereas the adiPure 11 Pro is $160. Makes it a little bit cheaper. The last thing is the fit across the forefoot, and as you can see, it's naturally a little bit wider on the 11 Pro compared to the Tiempo V. And the inside of the boot on the Tiempo V has a, let's move this out of the way so I can show you, because I've unlaced it. It has this honeycomb paneling that runs right around the forefoot, gives it a much tighter feel. I naturally wear a size 9. I could have easily worn 9.5 in these, whereas I wore a 9 in the adiPure 11 Pro, and I had plenty of room. That's worth noting that these boots definitely fit tighter because of that. And again, it runs right through the forefoot, as you can see. Definitely worth noting. So if you're looking for a larger, wider fit, adiPure 11 Pro is the way to go. Something that's a little bit more affordable is also the way to go. But I mean, if you're looking for a nostalgic look with very, very modern technology, then the Tiempo V is the way to go. Next, it's a case of new versus the old, the Tiempo IV against the Tiempo V. These versions have similar looks. This is my Nike ID version with my, you know, Irish look, and my SE101 on the side. Both of them have a K-letter upper, very different stitching, as you can see. If I put them side by side, the Tiempo IV has this single layer of stitching that runs across compared to the quilted vamp, and then different fit is going to be created by this layer of stitching that runs just above the tip of the boot. Everything about the Tiempo V is more modern. I can't really compare to some other place because this is an AG compared to the FG on the Tiempo V. But even inside, anything inside the boot, anything around the boot, everything has been upgraded, modern. The side of the boot, the Hyper Shield on the Tiempo V is definitely different. It gives it a different appearance across here with different materials used. Same swoosh on the side. If you look at the heels, vastly different as well. So it's definitely an upgrade version. Visually, I prefer the Tiempo V over the Tiempo IV. Not much else to say here performance-wise. They're decently similar, but this is definitely a more modern level of performance. And the final boot I want to put them up against is the original Tiempo Premier, as you can see right here. The reason I wanted to compare them to these is because you can tell how Nike has, number one, taken some cues from its past, but then it's found a way to modernize the boot. First of all, it's kind of difficult to see from the side angle, but the older version, all the older versions of the boot have a much higher cut compared to the Tiempo V. So it's obviously an area that Nike have changed things up and modified things, is lowering it down. If you look across the forefoot, again, both of them have their laces out right now, so you can kind of get a similar feel, but the Tiempo V runs right from the top of the laces straight down towards the toe, so it's a lot more streamlined than the old school boots that have this more rounded effect that runs up a little bit higher. Obviously the tongue is different, they've sliced off the tongue, so it also is an area where you reduce weight. But if you look at them side by side like this, I mean, the actual shape of the forefoot is very similar. They use sort of the same mold for both boots. It's, you know, something that Nike tend to do is they go back to a nostalgic look with the stitching, but they also keep that modern shape to the boot, which is pretty important. Alright guys, so there you have it. This is the Tiempo V, Tiempo Legend 5. And I'll give you one last quick look at the upper. A few things to note: they retail at $200, which is definitely more expensive than we've seen in the Tiempo line before. Brings it in line with other Nike releases. That is definitely not a positive in my opinion. I definitely enjoyed the fact that they were a little bit more economical and better value for money. But obviously Nike have seen it a little bit differently. There's a review posted on Cycleats 101. Again, I'm going to leave that link down below. Go check that out if you want to see exactly how they tested out and how they performed. Are they worth the money? Nah, maybe not so much so, but they are definitely a top performing boot. I like what Nike has done. Last key point: if you decide to order a pair, make sure you consider sizing and the fact that they do fit a little bit tight in the forefoot. More of a medium fit than a wide fitting player's boot, so worth noting. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this boot, make sure to like this video. Every like definitely helps us out, and subscribe to Cycleats 101 for more boot updates. Thanks for watching.